Good evening, everyone. I am very happy to welcome you all on this wonderful day, 28 of Super 70 series. Everyone has been very supportive since the beginning, and we need your continued cooperation in the coming days. Keep encouraging trainer, Ms. Mahjabeen Irfan Hasham. We come from Mumbai University, Diploma in Islamic Psychology from Asper College, Master Diploma in Counseling and Coaching. Let's welcome with a big round of applause. Continue, sister.
Hello. I'm not able to on the video, so
Continue, sister. Welcome.
yes. Hello. I'll start. Okay. Happy evening, everyone. This is Mahjabeen, and today I'm going to speak about effective and ethical communication. Can conversations be ethical? If so, have you ever experienced it? What effect did it have on you? I remember an exceptionally hard day. Actually, is my screen visible or no? I would like to share the screen with a presentation. Hello. Just hold on, please. I'll start this. Okay. Happy evening, everyone. Today, this is Mahjabeen, and today I'm going to speak about effective and ethical communication. Can conversations be ethical? If so, have you ever experienced it? What effect did it have on you? I remember an exceptionally hard day. It was the first day of my job as an intern, and I was trying my best to fit into the corporate culture. But the task in hand was difficult. My boss and colleague were judging me and showing their disapproval. I heard them saying, "She's at a wrong place at a wrong time," being an additional burden for us to handle. On hearing this, my eyes filled with tears. I walked to compose myself. I walked back to compose myself. As I walked back, trying to gather all my strength, a senior executive saw me and smiled and said, "Today's your first day at office?" I nodded. She replied with a smile that first days are generally tough, but you will figure out everything soon. And you have the confidence to succeed. That's why you're here. I smiled back at her, and the weight on my shoulders lifted. Instantly, my pain began to melt and I began to smile. It was the kind words that made my day much brighter. It was on that day that I realized the power of words, the power that our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was talking about when he said, "Indeed, a servant will speak a word pleasing to Allah that he thinks to be insignificant, but because of it, Allah raises him by many ranks. And indeed, a servant will speak a word displeasing to Allah that he thinks to be insignificant. But because of it, he will consign him to the hellfire. Speak good or remain silent is also one of his beautiful teachings. Words are powerful. They can empower or subjugate. Handle them carefully, for words have more power than atom bombs. Pearl Strachan. That's why today I take this opportunity to talk about effective, ethical, and nonviolent communication. As humans, we have an innate nature to enjoy giving and receiving compassion. Isn't that what brings us together as a family, organization, and society? Then what happens to disconnect us from our compassionate nature, leading us to behave violently and exploitatively? To understand this, let us understand what is the communication that blocks compassion and is thereby unethical or violent. First, moralistic judgments. Rendering moralistic judgments that imply wrongness on the part of the people who don't act in accordance with our values make the communication unethical. Blame, insults, put downs, labels, criticisms, comparisons, and diagnosis are all forms of judgment. They increase defensiveness and resistance in receiving the message. If people do agree to act, they do so out of fear, guilt, or shame. When they respond to us out of fear, guilt, or shame, they will feel resentment and decrease self esteem, and the flow of compassion is stopped. Second is denial of responsibility. Communication is unethical when it clouds our awareness that we are each responsible for our own thoughts, feelings, and actions. The phrase, you make me feel, or you should, are examples of how personal responsibility for our own feelings, thoughts, and actions are denied, and the blame is shifted onto others' behavior for it. We have to be conscious of our thoughts, feelings, and actions as we alone are responsible to reframe our negative thoughts. Third is using language of obligation. We can replace language that implies obligation with language that acknowledges choice. Example, I have to study for my exams can be rephrased as I choose to study for my exams in order to get good grades and to get to a good college. When we use a language of choice, we'll have more motivation as we are doing it willingly. This is ethical self talk. Four, making demands from people. We can never make people do anything, though we could make all the demands in the world. So it's important to learn to distinguish between request and demand. We make demands when we believe we are entitled to everything we want. In reality, everything is a gift to us and can be taken away or denied. This false expectation of entitlement makes us demand instead of request. If demands are unfulfilled, we believe that such actions merit punishment. This is also violating communication. Fifth, use of certain words to justify violence. The word deserve assumes badness or goodness. Such conditioning leaves us doubting whether there is something wrong within ourselves. These words have been used to serve the interest of the kings, the czars, and people of authority. They could then render slave like mentality on the masses, but awareness of such words will protect us from this trap. What allows some people to stay connected to their compassionate nature under even the most trying circumstances? They are the ones looking for feelings and needs and focusing on connection. The non-violent or the ethical process of communication helps us to reach that connection by allowing our natural compassion to flourish. Let us now understand the ethical process of communication. It can be used in both ways, to speak ethically and to listen empathetically. We can describe it by the word brief. B for begin calmly, R for relate, I for information, E for echo, and F for feedback. First, begin peacefully by non-judgmental observations. The first step the first step in ethical communication is to be calm and mindful of the present circumstances. Before we communicate, we must first observe what is happening without judgment by being fully present in the moment. This will bring us clarity Observation should not be based on generalizations but made specific to time and context. When we observe something and bring it to light, the other person can see it for himself and be more willing to acknowledge it. So both the speaker and the listener accepts it. Let us understand this by the example. Example, your shoelaces have come off as an observation without judgment. Your shoelaces will make you trip like last time. It is a judgment. Be mindful of words like always, never, ever, etc., as they can be used for observation as well as for judgment. What do you think about the following? Please type uh, O for observation and J for judgment. First, John was angry with me yesterday for no reason. Yes, this is judgment because for no reason is a judgment. The second sentence, my son often doesn't brush his teeth. Yes, this is observation. The second step is relate or build rapport. The second step in ethical communication is to relate or to build rapport with the listener. First, give attention to the other person and then draw their attention to ourselves. Third is to information. The third step is to gather full information from all given sides. It is rightly said that when there are two parties to a conversation, there are three versions of truth: yours, mine, and the truth too. So seek all the other versions too. This is the neutral fact-finding mission to gather information from all sides. Fourth is echo. Echo what you're hearing. Echoing may sound like repeating the other person. Echo step is paraphrasing or repeating the same sentence of the speaker in our own words to show that we understand their feelings and problems and validate them. It is also part comprehension check, making sure we got the facts straight at this point. It also helps to make the other party open-minded to our needs and suggestions. Start with it sounds like or I'm hearing. It sounds like you had an idea your grades were slipping. And summarize key facts obtained in the information step. Okay, you thought the grades were on track and this comes as a surprise to you. Use the words in a question form. Example, am I right that you're feeling this is mostly the salesperson's fault? Fourth, feedback. Feedback or requesting. The feedback step is when you get to finally offer suggestions, guidance, and request. Feedback should relate to the problems you have uncovered through interviewing and echoing. Don't pile on problems and escalate the argument by talking about past behaviors. Stick to the present and time and context. Use positive language and avoid negative words like don't. Make requests consciously. Make requests consciously. Identify feelings on both sides and mention that you feel this action to be the best to meet the current needs. Connect feelings to needs. When feelings are connected to needs, the request appears to seek compassion rather than compliance at any cost. I feel because I need, example, I feel sad because I need respect. Summarize the information, feelings, and needs. Keep conversations short. Request for clear action. The clearer we are about what we want, the more likely it is that we will get it. Use sandwich method of giving negative feedback only between two positive feedbacks. Value your own needs too. If we don't value our needs, others may not value it either. So ask with the attitude of we all have an equal right to fulfill our needs, but not at the expense of others' needs. Example, I see that your performance has dripped. I feel concerned about it. You do feel bad about it as it's not as per the expectations. You were not clear with the concept and want to improve by taking additional help for our tuition teachers by asking him to explain this concept again. The above statement shows that the observation was that the grades dipped. Information was the introduction of a new concept or topic which seemed hard to comprehend. As a result, you're feeling bad or need to improve. Action step decided is spending extra time with the tuition teacher to explain and cover this topic again, thereby meeting your need. The above covers all the steps of an ethical communication. Let us take a small exercise on this. So the first question is, you irritate me when you leave company documents on the conference floor. Is this an ethical or a non-unethical way of speaking? Yes, that's right. It's unethical because the other person's behavior is held responsible for the speaker's feeling. In fact, everyone is responsible for their own feelings, thoughts, and actions. Well done. Yes, unethical. Okay, now the second question is, I am discouraged because I would have liked to have progressed further in my work by now. Is this ethical or unethical? Yes, this is ethical. Feelings and needs both are being expressed. Now let's see how to receive feedback empathetically. Sometimes we are the ones receiving feedback. We must receive it empathetically. Sometimes sometimes feedback can be negative. We receive negative feedbacks in four ways. Either we blame ourselves, or we blame others, or we sense our own feelings and needs, and fourth, we sense others' feelings and needs. When we receive negative messages, we may blame ourselves and think that the other person's negative feelings are due to our deficient ways. But in reality, everyone is responsible for their own feelings, thoughts, and actions. Or we may blame the other person's negative behaviors for not trying to understand us or be indifferent to our feelings. In reality, the other person's responses are based on their unmet needs and in their inability to meet them or express them. So, if they are being violent with us, we need to respond to them calmly and compassionately after understanding their feelings and needs, and should never take the violent behavior personally. Example, I see that you're feeling angry about not receiving your lunch as you are hungry. I have already ordered lunch and it's on its way and should be here anytime soon. Here we have received the feeling of anger in a calm way. This response validates the feelings of anger, acknowledges the need to eat, and informs about the action taken. It is also about being present in the future. Similarly, our automatic negative responses arise due to our unmet needs and wants and our inability to express them. We must therefore not blame others or ourselves or others, but seek to be compassionate with ourselves and others by meeting and facilitating such needs and be responsible for our own thoughts, feelings, and actions. Let us take a small exercise to see uh, whether we have done the receiving empathetically or non-empathetically. Uh, the first question is, how could I do something so stupid? So is this ethical or non-ethical? Yes, it's non-ethical. Very true. Well done. So it is non-ethical. The second question is, I'm furious with my husband. He's never around with me, around when I need him. Is this ethical or not? And the and when we receive it, the person B is receiving it has, you think he should be around more than he is? Is this ethical or empathetic or non-empathetic? Yes. Yes, this is non-ethical, non-empathetic because person B is thinking and not expressing his feelings. The third question, I am disgusted with how heavy I'm getting. And the person B answers him, perhaps jogging would help. Is this empathetic or non-empathetic? Okay, this is, well, I think here this is non-empathetic. This is because only a solution is offered, but the feeling is not validated, and so it is non-empathetic. Yeah, so the question was, I am disgusted with how heavy I'm getting. If a person tells you that, and when you say perhaps jogging would help, that means you're giving a solution to this person, and you're not validating his feelings first. So that's why it's non-empathetic. The fourth, you aren't God. And the person who replies him is saying, are you feeling frustrated because you would like me to admit that there can be other ways to interpret this matter? Is this an empathetic way of receiving or is it non-empathetic way of receiving? Yes, you all got this right. This is empathetic. Well done. So this is empathetic because here the feeling is expressed and the need is linked to it. So this is how we can express, we can receive empathetically. So, so let us all enjoy living in a compassionate world. So let us all enjoy living in a compassionate world by using ethical and effective communication. Thank you.
Anyone, please, your valuable feedback. No. Anyone, please, your valuable feedback. Guys. Okay. No. Share your feedback.
Okay, I think, is there any questions if anyone would like to ask?
Okay.
Uh,
Yes. No.
Okay, then,
Can't
yes.
hear Panam.
Can you hear me, ma'am? Can you hear me, ma'am?
I can hear you all.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, being ethical is like being real, ma'am.
Uh, Being ethical means being according to some values, yeah, some good values like we have. That the value is that we are not going to harm anyone else. Like, so any communication which is not going to harm someone is like ethical, and the other person makes it feels good, and the compassion is experienced between the people. Like, you feel that okay, you have been dealt with compassionately and not being dealt with unjustly.
Okay, ma'am. And how about being empathetical?
Empathetic is again when you're linking your the feelings, you're understanding the feelings of that person who is talking to you, and you're validating his feelings. So that is being empathetic. You don't sympathize, you don't say that, oh, why does this happen, I feel sorry for you, but you validate, oh, is it you're feeling irritated, I understand this, okay, let's do this way. It's like that, like, understanding that person's feeling when he's saying. So ethical is a step where you shouldn't be going, but empathetic is a place which is a little difficult to reach for everyone, but we can try, and when we do that, we will have a society which is compassionate and good to live in. Any more
Thank you,
questions?
ma'am.
You're welcome.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes.
I don't understand the real difference between the ethical and empathetical.
Okay, ethical is like hurting you. Someone comes and hurts you, like with their words, like you are bad, you're not good, kind of thing, like that. But empathetic is going much 2 3 steps much closer and being so nice to you that you feel, oh, I really met someone who was so good to me. Like, you feel very close to that person after meeting him, because he has understood your feelings and he has validated your feelings, and then he has conversed with you. So it's much more bigger step towards compassion.
Okay. So how can we find that this is ethical and this is empathetical?
See, all empathetical conversations are also ethical. Okay, because but all ethical conversations may not be empathetical. It's like that.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
So being empathetic is even a more bigger field kind of thing. But the least we can do is be ethical, because if we are unethical, we'll have to we'll have to, for it's as a Muslim, like, we have to worry about for our year after. It is good not to be unethical ever. Like, we always have to try to make people feel good and never to make people feel very bad.
Can we use a word of sympathy for this?
No, sympathy is different. Sympathy is like you are pitying that person. And everyone doesn't like sympathy. Everyone doesn't like to be pitied. But everyone likes to that their feeling has been understood. So that is empathy. There's a difference between sympathy and empathy.
Sympathy is completely different from empathetical.
Yeah. Sympathy is out of pity, that you are talking about, out of pity, like, but it is not empathy. Empathy is when you're understanding the real feeling of that person. So that is empathy.
Thank you, Miss. I got it.
You're welcome.
Anyone valuable feedback? Okay.
So in the long run, I would advise that, we all should try to build a vocabulary of emotions, and we can be able to feel each other's emotions and become empathetic. This is also a very sought after skill set nowadays. I would thank you all to attend this. Give me an opportunity to attend this. I hope I could help you all. I could benefit you all in some way. Thank you very much.
Wonderful section. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It was nice having you all. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the questions. I loved it, and I would surely appreciate more questions. Thanks a lot.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Everyone. Tomorrow, Rashida Sahel will be speaking English on the topic meditation. Please support her in the same way. Thank you so much all. And good night, sweet dreams from Sharifa Bono in APR Patterns.
Thanks and good night.